We are back. What's up, everybody? Happy New Year. Welcome back to the Torn Podcast. I'm your host, Nick, alongside Alan and Matt. Guys, it's been a while. We had some scheduling conflicts. We couldn't quite do an episode right at the beginning of the new year, but we're back. We're ready to go and ready to get the ball rolling here.
Yeah, it's been a crazy couple of weeks. I'm up to my ankles now, and I'm up to my knees now in robot parts, and I'm really busy with the robotics season. So glad I was able to kind of find some time to come back and do this because I need a break from all that. So
for sure. Matt, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Teaching has been pretty fine, and tomorrow we have Martin Luther King Day off, which is very cool. And I'm learning that a lot more people in this area, I think, have the day off. Because like almost everyone in my building has off tomorrow. But I know you guys were saying you don't have off, so that kind of stinks.
No,
like even non-teachers have off?
Yeah, like Charlie has off, and he works in an office, and Jamie works for the government, and they have off, so...
Maybe it's a DC thing.
I wonder.
Well, I think all the government has off already, right?
Oh!
Well,
shots fired.
Yeah, even the funded government, though, has off also.
Yeah.
So
let's why don't we just dive right into it, guys? Let's get into the news. This
okay.
Okay, Nick. Sounds good.
That sounds good.
Thanks,
this is the weekly download. All right, so a lot of these news stories came out before the new year, so we're just kind of working our backlog a little bit. So some of these stories are going to be a little bit older, but we still want to touch on them. First, around Thanksgiving, maybe Christmas time, this trailer came out for this Netflix movie starring Ben Affleck, Oscar Isaac, Pedro Pascal, the guy from Sons of Anarchy, and it was called Triple Frontier. The trailer was about, this group of special forces guys who, decide to they're kind of down on their luck. They don't get paid a lot of money for special forces, and they want to make some money, so they decide to rob a cartel. What did you guys think of this trailer? Because I thought this looked awesome.
I agree. I really thought it was based on a real story, which would be super cool. But it actually, I don't think it was. But still, I think that the story looks awesome. It looks really badass, and I'm sure you're going to be rooting for these guys because they were military and they don't have a lot of money and stuff. I think the guy in the trailer was like, I've served 5 times for our country and I can't even afford to send my kids to college. So I think it's going to be a really good movie.
Yeah, I think it looks cool. It reminds me a lot of, well, not a lot of, but it kind of has hints of Narcos, that Netflix series that came out a while ago, where they're following the life of Pablo Escobar, and it's kind of got the whole drug cartel feel to it, and there's the 2 cops kind of trying to hunt him down and stuff. So
sure,
I love that show. It was kind of hard to follow because they would flip over into Spanish for at least half of the episode, but I like the premise of it. I like the idea of it. I think it'll be cool. The same as Matt, though, I kind of wish it was based on a true story, because then it would have a little more weight to it.
I mean, it still looks like it's going to be pretty dramatic. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be some double crosses, and that whole squad is going to get broken up, and I bet you most of them are going to die, but it looks like it's going to be an awesome movie. So we'll see. When's that come out? I'm not sure.
While you look that up, I was going to say Netflix has been doing some pretty awesome stuff lately.
Well, yeah, I mean, it was also announced that Netflix is going to hike up their subscription plan, and it's to bring more original content, which that's the good part, and the bad part is if you want to see more original content from Netflix, then great, but the cost is the cost, the cost.
Wait, they're going to raise it again?
Is going to go up.
Didn't they just raise it a year ago?
Yeah, I think so, yep. Triple Frontier comes out March 15th, by the way, so a couple months away. Okay, next. Guys, there's a Sonic the Hedgehog movie coming out, and this movie poster that was released kind of set the internet on fire based on how Sonic looks. What did you guys think of the movie poster that came out for the Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
I don't know what is this movie going to be about?
Nobody knows. I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog, obviously, but
right. And I'm sure Dr. Robotnik and getting rings, or actually, who knows even about the rings? But it's a weird topic. To me, it seems like trying to monopolize on a well-known character
Mhm.
just for the sake of that he's a well-known character.
Now, and the poster looks kind of weird because Sonic has like really athletic looking legs, and I think like anatomically, like it's just kind of a little strange, and a lot of people it's a little unsettling to people. But the cast, cast wise, Alan, you and I were looking at it before the show started. You got Jim Carrey playing Dr. Robotnik. You got John Ralphio himself, the worst, playing Sonic himself. So, I mean, what do you think?
I mean, I think the poster does look kind of weird. It almost has hints of Detective Pikachu, where like it might seem like it could come off a little creepy.
I think
where they overdo it and over animate them, and it might be kind of strange in that sense. But
yeah,
I don't know. I guess we'll see if the premise of the movie is any good or not. If the plot holds any interesting storyline or not. So.
Regarding Detective Pikachu, we kind of commented that it looks kind of weird, but also very interesting, like fun. It could be a very similar type of movie. I think you're right. Just kind of that weird, fun. If they make it like a comedy kind of thing, then it could be successful.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay, moving on here. Men in Black International. So they're rebooting the Men in Black franchise. Tommy Lee Jones and Will Smith are kind of done. And now we're picking up with and having a little bit of a Thor Ragnarok reunion with Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth. And also they throw in Liam Neeson in here as well. So what did you guys think of the Men in Black International trailer?
Yeah, I think it looks pretty cool. It's been a while since we've had a Men in Black movie. It's been since I think 2012, so it's been 6 years now.
Yeah,
since Men in Black 3 came out.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's kind of cool that they're redoing it again. It'll be cool to see that same style movie, but with a kind of more updated CGI and some different actors and different writers and that kind of stuff. So I think it definitely has a good chance to be really good, but it could also just be kind of awful if they try and redo what the first movie did and don't really do anything too original. So
sure,
kind of on the fence with this one, but we'll see.
Yeah, Matt, how about you?
I think it'll be good. I never really liked the first two Men in Blacks that much,
mm-hmm.
and I think I don't know. I probably would like them a lot more now, but I just haven't ever really gotten into it. But I think the new one is going to look pretty cool. So I'm excited to see it. I think it'll be pretty sweet.
I think the tone of the movie seems a little bit different from the first couple. It looks more action comedy as opposed to, more of what the tone was for the other two. But this looks like it could be fun. I think Alan and Matt, I'm with you. I'm on the fence of this. I'm not really sure how I feel. I think Men in Black kind of had its run, so we'll see. It could be successful, maybe not. I'm not sure.
Yeah, who knows?
And another trailer that came out, Hellboy. We kind of talked about this a while ago. We talked about some of the images that were released, but we finally got a full trailer for it. And I gotta say, I was kind of bummed. I was really digging some of the tonal stuff from the pictures. It looked like it was going to be like a Metalocalypse episode, just kind of like really metal and really badass. And it was promised rated R, hyper violence. And I'm like, okay, I could see where I can get myself excited for this. And then the trailer came out, and it was kind of like really lame jokes, and the visuals weren't there for me. And I know it's just a trailer, but I was kind of disappointed. What did you guys think of the Hellboy trailer?
I liked it.
Okay.
I did not like. I agree with you though. I did not like the humor, or I guess that type of thing. I want it to be like kind of dark and like really badass and like kind of, I don't want to say gruesome, but like kind of I don't know, just like dark and like crazy. But it wasn't. It was like they were joking, and the jokes didn't seem that funny, and it was kind of lame. And
Mm-hmm.
I wanted like a 300 type thing with like like that kind of thing. Like you take that humongous gun out, like blast that dude's head off. Like I wanted something really intense.
Yeah.
This looks like, I don't know. The action looked really good, so that's why I still overall think I liked it. But I agree, the tone was not what I wanted it to be.
Yeah.
And I still stand. We talked about Hellboy a little bit before. I still stand by my original statement. Fuck Hellboy. I don't like this movie. It doesn't do anything for me. It's a Class C superhero or whatever he is, anti-hero, whatever he's supposed to be. I just don't like Hellboy. I'm not gonna see it. I don't want to see this movie. I hope it gets bad reviews. I hope it fails. I hope the director gets fired.
Oh my god,
that would have been a little much. Sorry, but
You hated that? Yeah, you hated that much? It's not that bad.
I don't hate it that much, but yeah, I'm just not interested in this one at all. So
yeah. Besides rooting for people to fail, I can understand where you're coming from. I mean, we had the original set of movies. Nobody's really clamoring for a new Hellboy. It's just kind of like, what else can we reboot these days? You know?
That's what it seems like. Like with the Men in Black thing. I was gonna bring it up, but there's also a lot of new good movies coming out. But
Yeah.
like bringing back Men in Black, it's been a long time. Like bringing back Hellboy, especially, were the original Hellboy movies like that well received?
I mean, the second one was very well received. I think it's kind of a cult classic kind of thing. But
Okay.
I mean, they were for the time when they came out. Now, granted, we didn't have any of the MCU movies. I don't think when the first two came out. So this is before the big superhero wave. They did okay. They were, critically, lauded, but it wasn't like cut to shreds either. So it was just okay.
Okay.
honestly, I don't have much against reboots, just because like I don't know. A lot of movies these days are, if they're not reboots of movies, they're reboots of books or reboots of TV shows. Like, I mean, Harry Potter was all books. All the MCU characters are all based off of comic books. Like, rebooting is just kind of a thing that happens in entertainment pretty often. But
Yeah.
I'm just stuck on this idea that like that movie Arrival that came out, I think maybe a couple of years ago now. Do you guys remember that movie?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, at the end of that, I was like, I think this is one of my all-time favorite movies, and it was because I felt like they did something complete. They did an alien thing, which is not new, but they made it brand new, and they made it like different and interesting, and I just thought that was so cool.
Now that might have been based on a book. I'm pretty sure.
No, I want to read it.
It might have been.
Wow.
I guarantee you it's based on a book.
Now that's okay though. I mean, if you take these awesome sci-fi books that nobody knows about and you make them into movies, I have no problem with that. It's like stuff we already know that's already been made into a movie that you have to redo. Same thing with Annihilation. Annihilation was one of my top movies of last year, of 2018. I could not stop thinking about that movie, and I know it didn't get critically, it didn't do too well, and a lot of people hate that movie, but I mean that I put that right up there with Arrival. I really enjoyed those two movies.
Wow. Okay. I liked that movie. The book was so bizarre and hard to follow. And I actually ended up reading another book by that author.
Yeah.
And it was also really hard to follow and just like weirdly psychological and just weird. But I agree that movie was good. So I agree. I like that premise that is somewhat familiar but done in like an unfamiliar way.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's cool.
Speaking of comic book movies, guys, we reviewed Aquaman over the break, and our full review episode is up on our podcast feed now. So if you've seen Aquaman, which most of you listeners probably have, go check out our spoiler review. But guys, Aquaman ended up making $1 billion at the box office. That's surpassing movies like The Dark Knight. And I think it's up there last year with movies like Infinity War, Black Panther, what else? And Incredibles 2. So it made around the same amount of money as those movies. Now, so what do you guys think? I mean, we kind of said a movie was pretty good, but apparently this really appealed to mass audience enough that made $1 billion worldwide.
So yeah, we were pretty lukewarm about it, but I was talking to some students, some fifth graders, and they were like, it was the best movie I've ever seen. It was my favorite movie of all time.
Wow.
Everything about it was perfect. And so like I wonder if there's a different audience out there that's super loving this movie, and maybe like families of kind of young, like teenager type age kids, maybe they're loving it. I don't know. The action was super good, but I'm very surprised that it got that much. But
I mean,
Yeah, and Matt's
yeah, go ahead.
on Matt's note, yeah, a lot of the high school students that I work with in robotics were saying the same thing, that they loved it and thought it was really cool and stuff. So maybe it was just one of those movies that spanned enough, big enough audience that people our age were seeing it, people in middle school are seeing it, people in high school are seeing it, maybe some people even older than us were seeing it because Aquaman is such a historic character in the DC universe. So maybe it just had such a broad audience that it was attracting that enough people saw it where it was able to make enough money.
You know, it's got really good visuals. It's got really good action. I mean, for younger kids, it could be like this generation's Star Wars. Like, it's cool enough that it could latch on to a lot of young kids. So I could see that for sure.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
That's what I was gonna say. And I guess one thing is that it made that much money in like box office sales, not necessarily like that doesn't necessarily correlate with being a good movie also. So like it was pretty accessible, and a lot of families probably went and stuff like that. But
How much did Wonder Woman make? Because I feel like Wonder Woman was.
I think it made more than Wonder Woman. Let me look it up.
I feel like I heard more things about Wonder Woman than I heard about Aquaman. But
yeah, that's what I thought too. Especially because Wonder Woman had like a female protagonist, and that was a big deal. And I heard Wonder Woman was badass. I never saw it, but
So Wonder Woman made 821.8 million U.S. domestic. Let's see if I can find it worldwide.
okay, it's not too far off.
what do we know? Like what like profit that equals? Like
Actually,
what
that is worldwide. Sorry, total 821 million.
Oh, nice. Okay. I wonder. Well, I guess it's not
Like
that
how much
much.
the budget of the film was versus how much it
Yeah,
made.
yeah.
Oh,
I feel like 200 to 300 million or something is the budget,
Yeah, probably.
right?
uh,
Which seems
could be.
insane. That's insane. That's so much money.
That's like so much to invest without like not even being sure that it's gonna make
Right.
that.
So it's reported that Wonder Woman had a budget of 120 to 150 million.
Okay.
So-
that makes more. Well, still, it's an insane amount, but it makes more sense.
Yeah. So, well, good on Aquaman. I mean, I think like we
Yeah.
said about in our spoiler review, I think this is really good for the DCEU. I think that everything signs are pointing in the right direction. That they're righting the ship here, and hopefully we get some better quality movies out of it, and they continue the Aquaman franchise.
Yeah, I agree.
The other big movie that was kind of happening over the holidays that we never really touched on was Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, the animated movie. It's gotten Jake Johnson as Peter Parker, and I forget the dude's name who plays Miles Morales, but the animation style was really cool. It seemed like this is applauded by all comic book fans, all movie fans, as a really fun, like is the best Spider-Man movie that has come out ever. And
This is the same actor that has done the past couple of Spider-Man.
No,
He was
this-
also in the Avengers.
No, it's not a live action one. This is a separate movie, and it's an animated. It's called Into the Spider-Verse. Its focuses mostly on Miles Morales, which is like the second Spider-Man after Peter Parker. The storyline's a little bit different, but the animation style is really, really cool. I haven't had a chance to go see this yet, but everyone is giving it amazing reviews. So maybe that's something we'll have to try to watch somewhere down the lines and give a review, because enough people are talking about it that that it's turning the attention of the industry. So
Wow. I haven't even heard of this. So
Okay.
I'm pretty
Wow.
interested to check that out. That sounds cool.
Matt, I bet you if you talk to some of those kids that you were talking about before, they probably heard about it and they probably love it. That's probably the second thing they've been
I
watching.
bet they.
So.
I mean, my kids are still a little young.
Mhm.
They might. Maybe they do. I'll ask around. But
Okay.
Alan's high school aged kids might know more about this than
For sure.
mine. So cool. Yeah.
And our final news story today, I want to talk a little bit about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We played it a little bit when we were together over the break, and we just want to give a little review on it. So, Alan, I'll start with you. What do you think of Nintendo Switch's latest Mario game, kind of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate?
So I think they just knocked it out of the park with this one. I think it's incredibly fun to play. There's like they said, every single character that's been in any Smash Bros. Game ever. So you can play just anyone. They added a few new characters that are really fun. Everything's balanced. Well, not balanced, but everything's like fairly balanced. All the characters feel really good and fluid.
Yeah.
There's tons of maps that you can play on. There's like a really, really interesting single player game mode. There's still the old classic game mode from like the original N64 Smash Bros. That came out where you can go through and battle the master hand at the end. I think just everything about the whole gameplay and everything is just really, really fun, and they did a really good job with it. And I enjoyed playing it. They did completely fuck up online though, and Nintendo has been doing this with
that.
so much stuff on Switch where they just can't get online correct.
Yeah.
And the matchmaking is just terrible. It's
Oh.
laggy at times. Like the servers are just really bad. It's just not fun to play online, but it is super fun to play with friends. So I really wish they could fix the online part of it.
Yeah, what's wrong with them? Like, I know they're trying to really encourage couch co-op and stuff, but they're really messing up the online. Because every game I have, I think, is like that. Where, like, so in Super Smash, if you want to play with friends, it's okay. You can do I can't remember what it's even called. That you can do like a one game mode where it's like into a ring or something like that, and that's cool. But if you have a friend that's sitting next to you and you want to play with another friend somewhere else, you can't do that. You can only play, like, you have to take turns, and like you can only do 1 versus 1 online. It just seems like such a, I mean, to me it seems like an easy thing because I don't know anything about networking, but it's such a bizarre mistake to make it in a 2019 world now where everything's online. It's so bizarre. Oops, sorry. So bizarre that happened. So I agree with Alan. I love the game. I think it's great, but the online is so bad. And like tonight, Zach is trying to get a bunch of people to play Switch together, and I just know we're gonna have a bunch of problems because we're gonna get dropped and stuff like that. So
yeah, I agree. I like I love Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. I'm really having a good time with the adventure mode. I think it's this. There's the what's it called? Spirit something. What's that campaign? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but the one where you fight through a bunch of characters and you unlock spirits and you get like things to.
Yeah, that's really cool. That throws a little, a little extra something into the game as opposed to just the regular classic mode. But I mean, Nintendo's big fault for years has been their online play, and even some games, their co-op. There's never truly a co-op game unless it's designed that way. I mean, look at Mario Odyssey and look at Pokemon Let's Go. Like, the co-op is just, it's just kind of like the second player controls like the hat, and you just flick back and forth, or the second person just controls the second Pokemon. It's nothing really good, and but otherwise great. I would say back to Smash a little bit. If there's one complaint, I think they could have pared down some of the characters. I think some of the Echo characters are just too similar, and maybe that's not me diving deep into all of them, and maybe there's some deeper mechanics there that I'm missing, but I feel like there's too many similar characters, like, oh, this Echo character is just the same as this, and there's not really enough difference between them. So I don't know. How do you feel, Alan? I mean, you're way better than I am, and you've dived deeper into it, so maybe you can disagree with me on that and school me on that a little bit. But
I mean, no, I agree with you. I think the Echo characters are more similar than I thought they would be.
Okay.
But there's not a whole ton of them, and there's so many characters in the game that it's like, all right, whatever, I can kind of just let it go and look past it.
Okay.
I was kind of playing around with like playing Peach and Daisy because I think they're supposed to be kind of Echo characters of each other in a sense. And they do feel like a little bit different mechanically wise, and like I was trying to just do like some different type of movement styles with them and different attacks with them, and just to see how it felt. And there's like subtle differences, but for the most part, like you said, it's not as much as I thought there would be between the Echo characters. So I agree with you, but at the same time, there's plenty of characters. So just play
for
some.
sure, yeah. Cool. So what would you guys rate it out of 5 bottles of mead here? Smash Bros. Ultimate.
I'd probably give it a 4.5. Because I think it was, if you like Super Smash, I think it did everything super well. Like, I don't have any complaints about the game, really. I guess there are a lot of characters and a lot of stuff going on, but I think that makes it fun and it makes it engaging. So the only problem I have is the online horribleness, but
sure.
I think 4.5 for me.
Cool. Alan?
I'm going to be a little more critical. I'm going to give it a 4 out of 5, just because. So it's been really fun to play, unlocking all the characters, doing adventure mode, doing the classic mode. Now that I've kind of gotten through all of that, I really do want to do more of the online stuff. And since it's so difficult to play online, I feel like I'm losing some of the replay value of the game and some of the continuation that I wanted in the game. So I'm docking it a full point just on that. But overall, it's a really fun game. If the online gets a little bit better and they've worked through some of the issues, then it could be a really, really great game. So,
yeah, I think I agree. I'm also at a 4 out of 5 bottles of mead. Solid game. Really fun. I like the fact that you can have like up to 8 people play. So if you take your controllers and you break them up into 2 apiece, you can have like up to 8 people play. It gets like absolutely crazy. Put a lot of stocks on there and just like let her rip and
gosh.
it's go to town. It's fun. So 4 out of
We
5 for
played
me.
that 7-player game that was just so insane.
Oh my
I could not
gosh.
I
figure out-
remember I won one of the rounds playing Sonic because all I would do is just like spin all over the place and just like smash through a bunch of people and just
Yep.
like it's so overwhelming. That was
All right,
fun.
cool. And finally, let's get into some music picks here, guys. So I'll start. I got three picks today, and I'll explain why at the end. The first one is called "Dancing on Nails" by We Are Harlot. This is kind of one of those bands that's been around for a while. They have one album out, and they're kind of like a throwback style rock band, kind of like the Struts and a couple other bands. They're kind of like that older vibe. They're kind of a fun rock vibe. And then the second one I have is called "Alone in a Room" by Asking Alexandria. Asking Alexandria is a big hardcore band. They're kind of going through the same pattern as Bring Me the Horizon. They're kind of transitioning into more of a modern rock band with less screaming, more catchy vocals and choruses. But this is a great song by them. Their album came out last year or the year before, I forget. But it's a great album, and I love this song, "Alone in a Room." And then the third one I have is a song called "Little Did I Know" by Danny Worsnop, and this is a country song, and this is a very catchy country song. Alan, I think you'll love this song. It's great. This is everything I want in a country song. Now, the reason why I selected these 3 songs in particular is because the lead singer is the exact same in every single song. This Danny Worsnop guy, this Danny Worsnop guy is an English singer. He was in Asking Alexandria. He left that band for a little while to make We Are Harlot, and he also came out with his own country album. Now, I really want to give this guy credit because he's been able to cross genres, stay relevant, and make a lot of good, solid music. And so I just wanted to give this guy some credit because all 3 songs are very, very different styles, all very good, and this guy's very talented. So I got to give it to him.
Wait, what's his real name is Danny Worsnop?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. And the other ones are okay. It's not like an alias or something.
Nope. That's his name. Mm-hmm. So check out all 3 songs, see how different his styles can be, and yeah, I think he's really talented. So, and I know Asking Alexandria gets a little bit of heat for being kind of like the really emo hardcore band, but they did go through. I don't really care for them that much, but their latest album I really dig, and I like the direction that they're going in. So check out the songs.
Cool. And my music pick is a pretty well-known pop song on the charts right now. It's "Without Me" by Jeez, I forgot what song it was for a second. "Without Me" by Halsey. A good like Taylor Swift-esque breakup song where she's singing. I think she's singing about G-Eazy because they broke up recently. But it's just a cool song about, she brought G-Eazy in and like put him onto like this well-known status that he's at, and now he's like leaving her, and she's just like pissed off, saying like, thinking you can live without me. So pretty good breakup song. So I dig it. got my vote.
Nice.
Sweet. All right, I have a music pick, and it's called "Twerk" featuring Cardi B, and it's by City Girls. And I'm very surprised that I have this music pick because I don't normally like this type of music, but this song is just like so catchy, and I think I really like the beat, and it's just like kind of like fast a little bit and like really dancey, and the lyrics are like pretty gross, and there's like a lot of crazy stuff they're talking about, but it's like a really catchy song, and I feel like I heard it when I was like out in DC sometime. I think I can't imagine where else I would hear this song, and I just was really into it. So
nice,
awesome.
So "Twerk," by City Girls.
Awesome. Well, nice job, guys. I'll have to check that song out. I don't think I've heard that one yet.
Yeah.
So, but I do like Cardi B, so I want to check it out.
Yeah, it's kind of new. I think it came out in November.
Oh, cool. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
All right, so before we go, you've probably noticed that on the new year or just before the new year, we had released our brand new logo for the podcast. Everyone's been saying it's been awesome so far, so very good reception for our new logo. If you want to get that new logo on a shirt, on a mug, on anything, that design is now available on our TeePublic store. Just go to the link in the description of every episode, and it'll lead you right there. And then also, don't forget to follow us on social media at The Torrent Pod on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and at thetorrentpodcast@gmail.com. So we're going to get the ball rolling here. We're finally back in the swing of things, like I said off the top of the show. So we will be seeing more episodes and more reviews coming from us this year. Towards the back end of the year, there's a ton of stuff coming out, and I'm really looking forward to it, between the new Star Wars movie, the next Avengers movie, some new TV shows that are coming out that are going to be really good. We know we have movies like John Wick 3, we got the new Spider-Man, we got the Shazam movie coming out, It Chapter 2, Alan, we can get some of that horror flick back in there. Yes. And yeah, so there's a lot of stuff coming out towards kind of like the back half of this year, so we're going to have plenty to review, we're plenty to talk about, and we're all, I think, looking forward to a very awesome 2019. So yeah. Any last comments, guys?
Nope. See you next week.
All right. Yep. We'll see you next time. This has been an episode of The Torrent. We'll see you next time. Well, that's it for this episode of The Torrent. Thank you all for listening. Download, rate, and subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcast service. If you want to get in contact with us, feel free to send us an email, thetorrentpodcast@gmail.com. You can also get in touch with us on Facebook and Twitter at The Torrent Pod. We'll see you guys next time.